Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video. Normally I don't record voiceovers for these, but I thought this time it's a little different and it's a little longer, and I thought it would be fun just to kind of explain what I'm doing in my setup and stuff. So this is for August. It is 5 days late because I was moving. But for this month I designed a Friends kit. All the stickers that I use are available in my shop. I will put a link in the little corner thingy. You should be able to click it right now, and I will put a link in the description down below. So for my cover sheet, I tend to always put the main design. I did design a main cover sheet for this kit, which took a while because this is hand drawn, not by pen and paper, but on my iPad, but I drew it myself. It's not bought. So I tend to use that. And the monthly header, obviously. Before I used to use 2 background sheets, so the kit does include 2 background sheets. But this time I decided to try something new, and I wanted to put in kind of a tracker, but not really a tracker. So I have trackers further down, actually towards the end of the monthly setup. I decided for these to be more like line graphs to track progression more than me actually doing something. I wanted to track how many hours of sleep I get and how early I woke up and how much writing I did every day for this month. I was able to do that because I started my monthly setup late. Normally, if I'm gonna do it horizontally, it wasn't gonna fit, so I'd have to turn the page around, but for now it did fit because, again, I started the month late. So I'm tracking, like I said, writing, hours of sleep, and when I wake up, and that's about it. So this is the monthly calendar, the monthly log, I guess you can call it. There is a header monthly log in the kit, but I don't use that normally. I tried to pre-plan a lot of things to make this easier on myself, and I think it did help a lot. It just made the finished product in the video a lot more finished, because normally I don't write too much in these sections or whatever because I don't really pre-plan what to write and I forget things, but I'm hoping this will make it a lot more useful for me, and it did make it look a lot more full by the end of the video, which is good. So I'm drawing the calendar, which I had already marked where the lines were going and everything because I tend to mess this up all the time. So I drew the calendar in, and then I decided this month to actually kind of fill in some of the header spots, which I didn't do before, but I actually really like the way it looks. I gave the month kind of a color scheme of the light purple from the background sheet, a red, and a light blue from the little dots from the logo. So I stuck to that theme. These are the little date squares. I started with the reddish pink and I didn't like the way it looked, so I went to purple. I like the way that looks a lot more. It looks a lot more cohesive for the page. So yes, I'm filling in the date squares. And then I'm writing in the days of the week, obviously, and then the dates after that. And then I'm filling in that bottom area, which normally I kind of leave semi-empty in my Plan With Me's, but I had already pre-planned, so I knew what I wanted to put in there. So I'm putting in what books I want to read this month and what movies I want to watch that aren't movies in movie theaters that I've either heard about or seen someone talk about certain movie making aspects of it or certain effects a movie had. And then the turkey sticker is from the sticker kit, obviously, and I'm so proud of it because I drew that. I think it's so cute, and I wanted to stick it in somewhere, so it fit in pretty well over there. And then I'm filling in my monthly log. The stickers I'm using are on clear glossy paper. They're offered in my shop, but they're offered in the large size. I am in the process of offering the resized ones, so which are the smaller ones, I prefer those a lot more. So once those are available, I'll make sure to link my shop down below. I'll make sure to link them on my shop down below. My shop is linked down below, but I'll make sure to link them on my shop. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway, I put in the Central Perk sticker, which I also thought ended up being so cute with the overall look of the page. And then I'm filling in general to-dos and important to-dos. So important to-dos kind of went on the sidebar for tracking. General to-dos are just so I don't forget them. There is a separate to-do page, but these were again more highlighty to-dos. And then I picked up the unagi sticker, which I thought was so cute. I also drew that. All the art that's not in the full boxes, like the clip, like the decorative art, is drawn by me, like hand drawn, but on an iPad, digitally drawn by me. So it's exclusive to my shop. You can't buy that anywhere else because I drew it. But yeah, and then I messed up this page a little bit, so I really like the way it starts out. I wrote books and then books I wanted to read, Gems of Gold. I know it seems a little repetitive, but it helps me get stuff done when I do that. And then I do have script stickers that are not yet available on my shop, but I will link them down below when they will become available. So I have ones that say write and design and shop keep. There's like an Etsy seller kit and a study kit that has write and read on it and stuff like that. And I used those and I thought it made the page look a lot cuter, but I don't like the way I wrote shop under the silhouette sticker, and I've been trying to figure out a way to cover it, but I haven't figured that out yet. The page in front of it is empty because I'm gonna keep it for my monthly recap to see how much of these goals I actually accomplished and to celebrate each goal when it comes to doing it. I did it last month and I thought it worked out pretty well. And then these are kind of just floating to-dos that I don't have a specific date set for them, but I definitely do not want to forget them. So I put them on this page and then I try to implement them whenever I see that I have room for them. And then for budget, I normally leave that page empty, which translated into me never using it lately because I leave it empty. So I decided to add in a pretty basic grid this time. Just expense, item, net budget, stuff like that, to give me kind of a guideline, because whenever I leave it empty, it just stays empty. Like I have so many empty budget pages in my planner. So it's a pretty basic grid. I did do the label and then I stuck that Phoebe sticker down, which I think is so cute. And again, these add such fun elements to the overall look of the page, it seems. And then I have 2 pages of habit trackers, which may seem excessive, but works out pretty well for me, if I do say so myself, and does motivate me. So I did mess up on that left page, the one I'm on right now. Messed up a couple of times. I'll show you where. So there I am lining it, and I messed up on that bottom one because that top line is supposed to stay blank, because that's just where I'm putting my my days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's where I'm putting the days, and it was supposed to stay blank. And then I messed up real bad with that one diagonal line because I'm not supposed to go all the way across, but I did. I guess I got a little distracted, which is not good. But yeah, so that's where I messed up on that page. Considering how much I normally mess up, this pre-planning and marking down exactly where I'm gonna be putting my lines in advance, like the night before I did that, honestly really helped, because when you're sitting there for a while, you get hella distracted. So this, compared to how much I normally mess up, is actually exponentially better. Like it's way less messing up than I normally mess up. Like I normally mess up on every page at least once or twice, but this was like the first mess up, and I don't think I did anymore, so that's good. So on the left sheet, I track kind of the 9 most important habits I think for me to track, and then on the right sheet I track like 22 habits that I feel are also important. I mean, the 9 on the left page do end up on the second page too, but like when I put them on the first page, they're kind of more highlighted, and I feel worse when I don't fill them in on both pages. You know what I mean? I'm rambling. It's 1 a.m. I should have been in bed like a half hour ago. So anyway, so my habit tracker is just a full-on grid, and I love it like that. It takes a little bit longer than normal people's habit tracker, which you just leave the squares empty, but I make doing it so neatly, spending like I guess like it takes me maybe like 20 minutes to do, and doing it so neatly makes me so much more likely to use it, and I think it's definitely worth the 20-minute sacrifice that I would be giving it. It does make a difference in how likely I am to use it. And then I organized my habits by kind of grouping them together. Time of day I do them, like topic, like for example health and stuff. So there's like wake up at 8, eat healthy, workout, stuff like that. And for this plan with me, since I was already pre-planning a lot of it, I decided to include my weekly setup. I thought since I didn't have to waste time kind of measuring out where I'm putting my lines, I would have a little bit more time to show you guys the weekly setup. My weekly setup is as excessive as the rest of the planner, so I have a 3-page weekly setup, and then I go on to the daily setup following that. So one of them is this weekly boxes thing, which is very, very simple. I love it. And then on the page right opposing from that, I will put down my weekly tasks. I didn't put any there because the week doesn't start for 2 days for me, and I normally do that on Sunday, so I know what I've already gotten done. So that's the weekly setup. I'll put down the tasks and then prioritize them and put down a category to them, and then I will import them all into the weekly boxes to see which day I can do each thing on. And that's how I do that. And I fill in my, like, I make sure I stick to my priorities, you know what I mean? And then on the page after that, that's not so much a setup as much as it's just a tracker. There's a little weekly habit tracker that tracks much of the same habits that are in the top 9. I know it's excessive again, but again, it's just a way to make myself feel worse and worse if I don't do something. It's not like I'm gonna cry about it, but it makes me do it more if I'm more likely to skip filling in a lot of things, if that makes sense. So these are habits I do tend to stick to for the most part because of how much I track them. And then there's a book breakdown on the side to see how many pages of each book I have to read to get to the point I want. I'm currently reading House of Leaves and Book Architecture, and I'm almost done with Book Architecture, but with House of Leaves I just needed to break down the page to see how many pages I need to read a day. And that's about it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed. And if you want the kit, I will link it down below, and I'll see you guys hopefully in a video soon. I don't even know, but bye.